What's been catching your eye this week? Oh, sorry, go on.
Well, I was just going to say, I did catch sight of a pretty interesting bit of Google. Sort of, I would call it news, but it's news and a conversation between a product manager and an analyst. So I'm just going to read it for you because it's basically about how Google feel about ChatGPT, which is the hot topic of the day. So the analyst said. So basically, yeah, I might have some. So he's basically talking about, he's got a few questions really. So as that relates to the large language model and ChatGPT in particular, do you think there's a threat to Google's core business? I'm sure Google hasn't obviously been sitting still and has been working on AI for quite a long time. I'm just wondering, are people overreacting to maybe the threat here? Anything you can help me out with here would be useful. And the expert, who was a product manager at Google, said, oh yeah, for sure. With respect to ChatGPT and let's say Google search, I think ChatGPT is definitely a fascinating technology, but in my opinion, it's not a threat to Google at this point in time. And there's a couple of reasons for that. The first one is that you think about technology, Google has one of the best AI research labs in the world, similar to what OpenAI is. But in terms of technology, Google has something called Lambda that it has worked on for quite a few years. I don't know where that specific project is at this moment in time, but I'm pretty confident that Google has technology that matches what ChatGPT is and potentially surpasses it. So the second thing is, now that their technology is equal, distribution matters. So that's quite interesting. So Google are talking about how their distribution is currently 4 billion people using Google search versus OpenAI. There's about 1 million people using it in the first week of ChatGPT launching, which was obviously one of the quickest to 1 million we've ever had, so deserves a little bit of respect. The expert also said that compute costs and compute load between AI and things like ChatGPT and types of models and traditional searches are a lot heavier for people like ChatGPT. So he thinks that every search query that Bing uses will cost them around 200 times what a normal text search query would. So you're going to very quickly burn through cash there. But, Steve, the most important thing of the lot is they actually released market stats to see kind of what impact Bing has had over Google in this last month. And would you be surprised to hear that Bing is down in every medium? Bing's market share in desktop is down to 8.19%. Google's is up to 85.64%. In mobile, Bing is at 0.46, which is down. Google is up at 96.71%. Tablet, Bing is down to 4.57%. Google is up to 92.24%. And across all devices, Google's market share is up to 93.37%. And Bing's is down to 2.81%. So when we said it was all a fad, Steve, that is literally the hypiest month of hypey AI ChatGPT crap we've ever gone through, and Bing has completely collapsed. Bing's only use is to search for Google.
That's painful for Bing. I mean, to answer your question, yeah, that does surprise me, to be honest. I thought they might have got even some short-term kind of hype push on this. And the way Google search works is it's a very basic kind of bit of kit in terms of an interface, right? There's a box and you type some stuff in it. It's not complicated in any interesting way, but it is quite sort of intuitive. And then after that, the smart work goes on in getting you to look at the right things and click on the right things and advertise and so on and so forth. In the case of that, I thought Bing might have got a bit of a push here. ChatGPT does feel to me like, and I know you pointed this out in a tweet, it's very 2022 technology, or at least it thinks it's very 2022 technology from what I was seeing of an exchange it was having about watching films anyway.
Yeah, it has no idea what the date is, does it? Which makes it very confusing. So for anybody trying to search for something like relatively new, so yeah, I just think it's useless at the moment. I don't see any point. I mean, we just had Google losing hundreds of billions of valuation over gaining market share in every category it's on. So I think that's probably something we shouldn't be particularly frightened of.